Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
It's time! 17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan, open. Chicago with the lead. Michael got a piece of it. It comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship.
Tying run at second, 2 out. Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
To the far side around the 8-yard line to Hester. Under it and to the middle with the 15 to the 20. Breaks free to the 25 to the 30 to the outside. 40 midfield. 40 30 to the coast. 20 15 Hester 5. Oh! Touchdown!
Slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it toward Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to Shawn and Maya in the morning on this TGI Mickey Ficky Friday. It's the weekend, baby. And I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, well, then I guess you found us on Facebook. If you're not following us on Facebook, go to Sports Zone Chicago, like the page, and now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. Simple. But wait, there's more. Go to the show's page. Go to Shawn and Maya as well, like that page as well. So not only will you be following Sports Zone Chicago, but you'll be following Shawn and Maya in the morning as well. If you're watching this on a YouTube page, excellent. And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, for real, come on, man. Go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the subscribe button, and then you'll be following Sports Zone Chicago, but also click the notification button. That's the bell right next to it. And that'll let you know anytime a show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live. Get it? Got it? Good. Now, if you're watching this on our mobile app, yay. Listen, please don't tell me you didn't know we had a mobile app. Come on, man. If you don't know, you better ask somebody. Okay, so download the app. So wherever you get your apps from, it doesn't matter whether it's iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Walmart, Kmart, 7-Eleven, Zayre, Zemsky, Macy, Montgomery Ward, Venture, Woolworth, Webolts. Okay, you go there, you type in Sports Zone Chicago, you download it, you take us with you on the go. So not only do you get Shawn and Maya in the morning 3 days a week, not only do you get our other live shows throughout the week, and not only are they archived there like they are on Facebook and YouTube, but I'll tell you what, we give you a slew. And I mean a slew of articles thanks to my man Clarence Council III. Big up to Clarence for keeping you abreast of all articles Chicago sports related. Now, if you're watching this on our Roku channel, I like that kind of party, baby. And if you don't know, you better ask somebody. We have our own Roku channel. All right, Sports Zone Chicago, we have our own Roku channel. So here's what I need you to do. Do me a big favor. All right, do me a solid. Download Sports Zone Chicago's channel right to your television. Put it there next to Netflix, Apple, Hulu, Stars. Oh, a new episode of BMF is out today. Nice. BMF on Stars is out. Disney Plus. Put it right there in the middle, so you can just watch this on the big screen. Hell, we're on the big screen, right? Mickey, Ficky, now. Now you can also tweet the show. Tweet us at Sports Zone Shy. That's CHI at Sports Zone Shy. Now, if you want to follow me, just me personally online. You want to know what I did? Well, let me tell you what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. All one handle at the Shawn Sierra. If you want to follow my lovely co-host, Maya Kai, you can follow her on Facebook and Twitter at the Sports Chica. If you want to follow her on Instagram, because you're an IG and you do it just for the gram, we'll just follow her at Maya_Akai. It's MAYA_AKAI. Man, we got a good show for you, but I need you to get interactive. So whatever platform you're watching us on, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, or mobile app, leave a question or comment on that platform. It'll come up on the thread. We'll incorporate it into the show, and that, to all my peoples in the struggle, that is why it was the best Chicago morning sports talk show around. All right, and that's you. So bring them all, baby. Questions, comments, smart-ass remarks. Ain't nobody scared over here. Like The Rock said, don't sing it, just bring it. Let's see who we got in the chat this morning. My man Junior, Armando Emeterio, Lara. Junior's in the house. Good morning, brother. Levette Lee's in the house. Good morning, Mom. Thank you for tuning in. Cornelius Squalls in the house. What up? That's what I'm talking about. Patty Lara in the house. What is going on, Mama? How are you? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Levette Lee's in the Mickey Figgy house. Good morning, Mom. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. It's the weekend, baby. You know it. Sean Walls in the Mickey Ficky house. Yes. A Mickey Ficky TGIF. Whew. Brandon Schultz watching this on the big screen. That's what I'm talking about. Or Schultz. Schultz. When I say Schultz, because reading is apparently not fundamental in my life right now. Brandon Schultz. Good morning, Papa. How are you? King Book of World. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Listen. I don't know a lot about a lot, but I do know this. More of the usual suspects will chime in as the show goes on. That, my peoples, I can tell you. Check it out. Listen, we have a great show for you. Actually, we get started early at 9:30. Casey Boguslaw joins the show, baseball analyst. Yesterday was opening day for both Chicago baseball teams. And we're going to talk about it. What was really cool, I didn't even realize this, man. So I was texting Ozzie Jr. It was Thursday, Wednesday. I was like, hey, I see you're first of all, you're back from Venezuela because you're in the Venezuelan league that they just won. I said, are you going to the game? He's like, yeah. He goes, but we're going with the whole family. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, oh, he goes, why? What's up? I was like, no, I was just going to say, hey, let's meet up and grab a drink or something, at the game. He's like, well, I got the whole family, so it'd be tough. I'm like, yeah, it's cool. We'll catch another game. No big deal. Well, Ozzie Sr., his wife, and then their three grandkids go out, and Ozzie Jr.'s son, so Ozzie Sr.'s grandson, also, that's Bear for those of you who don't speak Spanish. I mean, they call him a little bear. Osito, also a bear. Also, throughout the first pitch yesterday at the Sox game, I thought that was so cool. And I text Junior this morning, like, dude, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me Oso was throwing out the first pitch, dude? That's awesome. But I just thought that was pretty cool. Ozzie was at the game yesterday. Family, they gave a big Ozzie, a huge Ozzie welcome, as only Chicago Sox fans know how to do. Because you know what, man, for those of you who are alive at that particular point or can remember it, that was a great time. 05. That was a great time. My man Plank is in the house. Good morning, Papa. Bear down. How you doing? Yeah, 05 was a great time, man. Wire to wire, the White Sox, from opening day till the last day of the season, we're in first place in the division. We remember was it Boston? Who was the first? Yeah, it was Boston. Was the first round, swept them. They're defending World Series champions. And the Angels came in, and they had a night before. They had flown in because they had gone like 7 games, so they played 3 games in 3 nights, and everyone thought that the Sox were just going to roll over them because I forgot where they were playing. They flew a game 6 from one side of the country to the other. And then won that game. Then had to come here for game 1, and people thought that the Sox were going to get them just because of jet lag, and the Angels won game 1. They took game 1. We're like, whoa. Then the White Sox took the next 4 games, and the crazy part about that was the fact that the starting pitchers, except for game 1, Jose Contreras, went 8 1/3. And they brought in a reliever. Other than that, the next 4 games, all 4 pitchers went the distance. All 4 pitchers went the distance. John Garland, Freddie Garcia, Mark Burley, and Contreras. All 9, pitched all 9. It was dope. It was crazy. 2/3 of an inning is all that the relievers were used in that ALCS. And then it was the drop third strike, AJ, yeah. And so Ozzy's going to have a place here forever. Forever. Okay? Forever. And rightfully so. Rightfully so. So, but let's get to it. Again, Casey Boguslaw at the bottom of the hour. Talking baseball. Great day yesterday, man. Great day. It was a fun day. All right, I was out there tailgating with some friends. My guy Hirsch, my guy Clarence, his girl Suzette, their friends. Wow, it was a good time to see everybody. Sox couldn't muster up a run. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, it was a son of a gun, but it was good. There's so many people I hadn't seen. I hadn't seen my girl Vanessa. Big shout out to Vanessa Hall. I haven't seen her. Wow, it's been 5 years, maybe longer that I've seen Vanessa. 7 years. Yeah, it's about that. Maybe 7 years since I saw Vanessa. She worked for the gas company, I want to say. And she just walked right through where we were tailgating. She just walked right through, heading to the park. And I was like, Vanessa? She turned around. She's like, oh, my God. It was crazy. So it was so good to see so many people. I saw inside the park. Saw people outside of the park. It was great. And that's the reason I went. I was happy that I went because you never know who you're going to run into. Like I said, I hadn't seen Vanessa in years. It was really cool to see her. She's doing big things with I think it's the gas company. But she's doing it, and it was a pleasure. And then it was funny. Some of the girls, some of Clarence's or Suzette's girls were like, hey, how are you? I was like, we haven't seen you since last year opening day. Like, yeah, it's been about 1 year. So good stuff yesterday, but let's get into it. Guys, you know how we do. The first segment of every show is called Top of the Morning.
It won't come just when you want it.
Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
The first top of the morning topic. Which way do we go? Which way do we go? Which way do we go? All right, we'll do it. My White Sox. Yeah. That was a rough one yesterday. The White Sox fall to the Detroit Lions. I said Lions. Lions and Tigers and Bears. Oh, my. Detroit Tigers yesterday. 1-0. Garrett Crochet got the start. He was on the bump yesterday for the good guys. His first opening day start. He went 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 8 punch outs. Unfortunately for him, he gets the loss. Luis Robert, Eloy Jimenez, and Andrew Vaughn were the only 3 hits that the White Sox were able to muster. I don't know, man. I don't know. You go 6 innings, give up 1 run, that should be a win. Should be a win. But get ready for this. Get ready for this a lot, Sox fans. But it wasn't. Next top of the morning topic: the Cubs. Man, this game was seen on ESPN. The Cubs, they fall to the Rangers 4-3 in 10 innings. Justin Steele got a no decision. He pitched 4 2/3 before exiting with a hamstring injury. He gave up 3 hits, 1 earned run, 6 punch outs. Cody Bellinger, 1 for 4 with a double, his first of the season, driving in his first RBI. Chris Morrell was 2 for 5, had a triple, and Dansby Swanson tallied another RBI for the Cubs. It went to 10th. It was crazy. The Cubs thought they had it, and then Texas tied it. And you talk about an exciting game. That's the way That is a way to start the season. I'll tell you what, ESPN was probably happy as a son of a gun. Happy as a son of a gun, the way that played out. Josh Helms is the walk-off single in the 10th against Drew Smiley at Globe Life, and man, it was exciting for them. The defending world champions. The Cubs played them tough. So we'll see. We'll see how this season progresses. So at least for a while, the White Sox were tied for first when they were 0-0. They were tied for first. They had the best record in baseball. They were tied with everybody at 0-0. And it's probably all downhill, in my opinion, from here. So, yeah. That's a tough one. That is a tough one. The next top of the morning topic, the Blackhawks, baby. Yeah, they fell. What a terrible sports day. My goodness. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. The Blackhawks fall to the Ottawa Senators 2-0. Mrazek stopped 32 of 34 shots. Wow. I didn't really think about it till I'm like, well, damn. That's like a crappy, it's a horrible news day. Sports news day. Man. Holy sheesh. Wow. 8 people, yeah, it was a sellout, dude. It was close. What was the attendance? Because Junior got jokes. He thinks he's funny. You're not funny, fool. You're not funny. The Sox game, yes. Choo. Yeah, no, it was not a sellout, but 33,000 yesterday. 33,420. And you know what was weird? The game went by so fast. The game went, well, it was 1-0. So it was like 3 up, 3 down, 3 up, 3 down, a hit here, hit there, 3 up, 3 down, a walk here, walk there. I didn't realize it. The game was 2 hours, 2 hours and 8 minutes. We were sitting there because we're sitting out in the right field bleachers on the concourse, just hanging out with people, talking, running into people. And all of a sudden, they're like, last call. We're like, what? It's the 7th inning? Wait, what time is it? I was an hour and a half in. We're like, what the hell? But when it's 1-0, when did they score in the third? I want to say they scored in the third inning. No other runs are happening. Man, it was the third inning. It's the third inning. So people going up, people going down. Flew. At least let it have it. I was looking for at least 2.5 hours yesterday. 2 hours and 8 minutes. Yep. I'm sorry, 2 hours and 3 minutes. 2 hours. Well, Michon, you know what? Yeah, that's really fast for it. I was like, who the hell's pitching? Mark Burley? I was like, who the hell's pitching? Mark Burley on the mound? Is that what's going on? Remember, he finished the game in like an hour and 38 minutes. One of his. Can you imagine that? An hour and 38 minutes for a baseball game? Yeah. Oh, I agree. Michonne. The reason the Sox game wasn't a sellout. But I mean, it was a good showing. 33,000. I can't wait to see what today's attendance is going to be, because today's attendance is going to be in the crapper. Oh, they don't play today. They play tomorrow. Oh, I know here's why. What they do a lot of times, what they've done recently, especially when You're starting games in cold weather cities. They'll take the next day off. All right, off in case of inclement weather, where maybe you can't get it in on Thursday, so you can get it on Friday. All right, so the Sox are off today. Both Cubs and Sox are off today, and they both resume their series tomorrow. The Cubs are at Texas. They continue on at Texas, 6:05 that game. They're on a marquee network, or 6:70 a.m., and the Sox are home on Saturday, 1:10 start. That game is on NBC Sports Chicago, or you can listen to it on their flagship AM 1000. Junior, all my White Sox friends posted how they usually are happy opening day, but not this year because the team is trending downward because of Reinsdorf. Yeah, we were talking about that in the parking lot where we were tailgating. We're just like, yeah, we're just not. I'm not excited about it. I was just not looking forward to the season. Not looking forward to the season at all. So, AC Adam joining the party. What's up, Papa? Good morning. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you. Yeah. Well, the next top of the morning topic, the Flying Illini. Woo, Charlie, the Flying Illini advanced to the Elite Eight, the first time since 2005. Wow. Woo, Charlie, with a 72-69 win over Iowa State. Terrence Shannon Jr., he led the way with 21 points. Hawkins contributed 12. Man, I tell you what, Eddie G was happy as a pig in slop when I left yesterday. This was before the game, like I'm not saying, because that game was at 9. I'm like, whoa. And that's in Boston. It's not like it's 9 o'clock here because they're playing in California. That's only 7. It's 9 o'clock here. It was crazy. But I digress. With that win, Illinois plays defending champ UConn, the Huskies, and Danny Hurley on Saturday for a trip to the Final Four. So, Illinois has what it takes, but you're going up against the defending champs. It's going to be tough. All right, they're definitely at a disadvantage, being out east, being in Boston. All right, Boston being not far from Connecticut at all. So it'll be pretty much a home game for the UConn Huskies. It's going to be interesting. Wow, one win. And I think Illinois has a great shot. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Illinois has a phenomenal shot to upset the top-seeded team in the East, the UConn Huskies. They're going to have to play a good game. I mean, this UConn Huskies team are the defending champions for a reason. All right, Danny Hurley has cemented himself as a phenomenal coach. That whole family is just basketball. All right, their dad is a Hall of Fame high school basketball coach in Jersey. All right, his brother, Bobby Hurley, won a couple national championships with Duke. Okay, and now he's finally making a way for himself, leading UConn to the national championship last year as a coach. So, I'll tell you what, man, that's pretty dope. It's pretty dope. All right, that family is all in on basketball. All right, and Bobby Hurley now is the head basketball coach at Arizona State. And if you follow What's Up Cuz, all right, Lance's brother, Lance from What's Up Cuz, his brother Nick, okay, is on Bobby Hurley's staff at Arizona State. So that family is just basketball galore, and they've done well. Basketball has done that family really, really, really well. So, Junior ILL, INI, I'm happy for him. Man, all the Illini people they stand up, and that's cool. You know what? I'm happy for them. I really am. It's my home university, the home state that is, because I went to Holy Cross in Massachusetts. But I've always had love for Illinois. All right, they didn't recruit me out of high school, so I didn't go there. But anytime they're advancing this far, and it hasn't been since 2005 they got to the Elite Eight, it's great to see. The city gets around it, the state gets around it, gets around this team. The Illini alumni are very supportive, very loud and proud about it, and they should be. All right. It's not easy getting to the Elite Eight. All right. It's not easy. Getting out of those first weekend, first 2 games, and getting out of your first 3 games is tough. You win Saturday, you get to the Final Four. And the great part about March Madness is the finality of it. All right. It's you lose and you go home. That's it. No ifs, ands, or buts. We'll get them next game. We'll beat them we can take the series over extended period of time. We're better. No, it's one game. And that's the cool part about it. That's the cold hard facts about it. Because you can lose from a half court, 3/4 court shot at the buzzer and your season's over. But that's what makes this phenomenal. That's what makes this the best postseason of all sports. Best postseason, the whole postseason. See, we talked about this on last Saturday on the Smoke Fellas. What's the best postseason tournament? And some said, and I said, well, the NFL, Super Bowl, and I said, but the postseason, the tournament leading up to that, the playoffs is okay. But the postseason for college football is up there. Baseball, hockey, but the men's basketball tournament, all the upsets. Hell, Kentucky was out game 1. Upsets galore. And that's why you watch it. That's why we love it. So, yeah, the NCAA tournament, March Madness, is definitely the best tournament, the best postseason tournament in totality. The best event is the Super Bowl. The best event is the Super Bowl. Just sometimes getting up to the Super Bowl, that whole postseason, But men's basketball, oh yeah. AC Adam, Illini Pride, yes. Jason James in the house. Good morning, Papa. Elite 8, baby. I'm happy for, man. I'm fired up. I'm really fired up. I'm happy for my people that are Illini alums. Man, they were walking around screaming, ILL, INI. I just think that's so cool. You get so much pride in your school, and it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Listen, let's take a break. On the other side of the break, we're gonna welcome Casey Boguslaw. We're gonna talk about yesterday's game. And I asked Casey, and Casey, he's a big Sox fan. I'm like, Casey, are you are you going to the Sox game, the home opener? He's like, no, I'm done with those jokesters. A lot of Sox fans feel that way, and I'm right along with them. I'm right along with them. So my man Casey Boguslaw coming up next. Keep it locked right here, folks. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Time out. How are you feeling right now? Happy? Excited? Angry? Overwhelmed? One of the best things you can do for your mind health is to name what you're feeling. It can sharpen your awareness and help you talk about your feelings with someone you trust. Here are 3 questions to ask yourself. Where are your thoughts right now? In the past, the present, the future? Do you notice any sensations in your body? Is your heart beating fast? Is there a flutter in your stomach? Or are you fully relaxed? What do you need right now? Time with others? time to yourself? Remember, there's power in this awareness. So find ways to identify what you're feeling today.
Hi, guys. Hey. Hi, Megan. Hey, Jessica. Megan, you're a tramp. Ryan Fitch told me you guys made out. Everybody knows. He said your breath smells like garbage. And he almost puked. He says you're the most desperate girl he knows, besides your mom. How many boyfriends does she have anyway? Lots? Your makeup makes you look like a clown. That zit is huge, zit face. Ugly.
Hey, bud, what you doing?
I'm playing with cars.
Cars? Can you show me what a car does? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on a second. First of all, this is a school zone. So you need to put down your cell phone, stop texting, and let's get to driving. Now you're coming up to a stop sign, right? You need to slow down and stop before you hit that Y line. I want you to look left, right, left. You don't want to get hit by a car going on your left, and to your right to make sure you don't get sideswiped by a guy coming from your right. You're coming, and you see a crosswalk. You better slow your horses down, because the #1 rule of driving is always yield to pedestrians. Now stop, pull over, and you are done driving. Gosh, what do they teach you kids in school nowadays?
League start. Big swing and a miss. Starts off the Tigers with a strikeout. In the ballpark, the 2-2. Got him swinging. The 2-2. Got him with the fastball. Third strikeout. And he looks good as a starter early on. Crochet with a fastball. His 5th strikeout. Got him looking inside corner. And a high fastball blew it right by him.
Dreamed that in the 6th inning he would be still out there.
The 0-2. Froze him with the fastball. Garrett Crochet, what a performance.
Wow, welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of NBC Sports Chicago. Garrett Crochet, man. Holy jeez. He was zipping it yesterday, baby. He was, and you know what? Remember I said I thought it might be a bullpen type of day. Like once Garrett Crochet got the start, I'm like, all right, he's coming off of Tommy John. They're gonna give him 3 innings, maybe 4. I honestly didn't think I didn't think that they're gonna give him 6. Man, he was dealing. He was that was exciting yesterday. Let me tell you, watching that Joker pitch, watching him blow that shit by people yesterday, watching him freeze people yesterday, I was like, damn, now I see why the hell they drafted him. He was, man, that's a horse right there. That's a horse. And wait till he gets stronger. He'll be able to go 8. Man, let's talk about it with my first guest, man. I am excited. Baseball season is back. I'm not excited about baseball season because we're going to suck. But I'm excited about meeting people, about buying White Sox tickets on the secondary market for like, $5. Excited about that. So I did do my normal thing yesterday. It was awesome. I know I'm cheap. But I brought it. I told you guys I have the plastic flask. So I filled it up with Tito's. Awesome. Oh my God. Got a couple drinks in at the game, before the game, at the game. Yes, I had to spend $7 on a Sprite, but what are you going to do? Man, so it was awesome. We'll talk to my first guest. We'll talk about that too. Great stuff. He is the host of the Concourse White Sox podcast, the Concourse podcast. Concourse at Concourse Pod. All right. You can find him on Twitter at Casey Boguslaw. Guys, just welcome back to Shawn and Maya, Casey Boguslaw. Casey, what's up, buddy? How are you?
I am great, Shawn. Obviously, ILL. Got to start off with that. I am on top of the world, my man.
Okay. Good stuff, man. Let's talk about that game yesterday, man. One run's a little too much to ask, apparently.
I mean, could you have scripted it any better? I mean, this is what they're gonna give the world here this season. That's what they've told us that they wanted to do, as far as they want defense first, and pitching will be helped by defense. Crochet didn't need too much help yesterday.
No, he didn't.
But yeah, it's the offense that's going to be the story that I think is going to be the thing that holds them back. I mean, we'll see what's going on after Crochet. I mean, you obviously let off with me here with the highlight reel and going on about Garrett Crochet. I mean, I was shocked. I was absolutely floored on how he looked yesterday. And you mentioned the length. I mean, that's got to be the top of the most surprising thing. You mentioned why they drafted him first, and we saw what had happened in 2020. I mean, he was unhittable out of the pen, and then obviously it's just been a long road to get here. And I was talking to a buddy that was there yesterday, and we were just saying, like, I don't know if the organization really could have even predicted what happened yesterday. I don't know if it's kind of a marvel of just medicine and I guess his willpower and all of that. But yeah, I guess, I mean, obviously it's the Tigers. It's game one. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if he's going to stay healthy, but I don't know what an ace on this team is going to do for you either. So we'll see what happens.
He sure as hell looked like an ace yesterday, baby. I'm telling you, we just saw the highlights. That was some sick stuff. That was some electric stuff. Stuff he was throwing there, man. And he looks like he's probably pretty damn near close to 100%, Casey.
Yeah, he didn't mess around too. Strike one, getting not messing around, not putting free passes on the bases.
Most important pitch in baseball.
Yeah, coming back last year when he came back from injury, he was a little wild out of the pen. There was the one, questionable, whatever it was, pass ball or whatever that Maldonado couldn't hold. But other than that, I mean, he was in the zone. He was throwing strikes. There was nothing of that. And yeah, 6 innings was wild. I couldn't believe that they didn't even have anybody up in the pen in the third or fourth inning, because he was so solid. He was giving them no reason to even think that way. But yeah, of course, like you mentioned, I thought it was going to be a bullpen game as well. They have the, however many guys they want to put in the pen. They said they might be doing a 4-man rotation here for a while, so maybe 9 guys available in the pen. I think because they don't know how long these guys are going to go. Crochet, Fetty, Soroka, all these guys are either coming back from injury or coming back from Korea. They're gonna, a lot of games might be bullpen games, but Crochet got you off to a great start here, saving the pen for the remainder of the series.
Yeah, we were only able to muster 3 hits. That was very frustrating. I mean, we still have some talent on the team. It's not like we've been gutted. I mean, you still have MVP candidate Luis Robert Jr. Okay, you still have him on there. You still have Eloy Jimenez. You still have Yoan Moncada. You still have Andrew Vaughn. And even with that assortment of hitters, you still were only able to get 3 hits and not tally a run. Do you think
how many walks? How many walks, Shawn?
Boom.
0.
Goose egg.
That's the problem with this team. If you follow me on Twitter, you know how much I go against the philosophy of this team is just they don't walk and they give up too many walks. Now, Crochet did his job yesterday, but I was even pointing out in the spring training. Obviously, spring training stats, you can take them or leave them. You probably should leave most of them, but they were. I was looking back through my Twitter. On March 10th, I tweeted that just that ratio, the walks given and walks take ratio, they were second to last in all of baseball. Still, so you can preach that the philosophy is changing, and Getz and Grifol will just beat that to death. That things are changing, and they wanted to look at this team in a whole different way. There was a stat that somebody put out that if it was the White Sox are returning the second fewest percentage of returning hitters and returning pitchers as last season. So they flipped this team around, but it goes back to the philosophy. And if you want to be defense first, we can get into that in a second. That's fine, I guess. I don't really agree with that particularly, but it's walks. You got to have this team taking walks, and maybe Colson comes up soon, and Ramos, and maybe those guys start taking walks, because you got to see a culture change that way before you see this team going to make any kind of leaps and bounds. Because I think that was what was. I mean, if we really want to sum up what went wrong with the rebuild and the window why it closed so suddenly, take a look at that stat. I was posting it all season last year. It was the second worst, I think, in modern baseball history, like since 1900, of that walk ratio for the White Sox.
Wow.
They were worse than, take what was it, 2003 Tigers that lost 119, 85 Mets that lost like 115. The White Sox were worse than all of these teams in that stat, and it's such a basic stat. Particularly yesterday, Stone said a bunch. I know you were at the game, but Stone said with the key to getting Skubal is to lay off the high heat, because he lives there. He lives at the top of that zone, and he wants you to chase, and you can't hit it. So you got to let it go. Did the White Sox let it go yesterday? No. And I think that Skubal's last like 5-6 starts against the White Sox, somebody posted that yesterday. It's disgusting. He is like Jacob deGrom level against the White Sox his last 6 starts in the last season and a half against the White Sox. The scouting report hasn't adjusted to Tariq Skubal, and that's why they only got 3 hits, no walks, and a big 0 on the scoreboard in the most important column.
Yeah, and it was frustrating because you were hoping, like, okay, there wasn't a lot of action. Dude, the game was 2 hours.
Yeah.
2 hours and 3 minutes. We're sitting in the right field bleachers by the concourse, and all of a sudden, like, last call, we're like, whoa, what the? No. It's only, holy shit. It was an hour and a half into the game. An hour and a half, hour 35 minutes into the game is last call. I'm like, who the hell's on the mound? Burley?
Right.
I was like, what the hell's that all about? Dude, that was insane. That literally
Jim Margulis keeps tweeting. He's been tweeting all offseason that the White Sox will not waste your time this year. They know they're bad, and they will not waste your time. You will be in and out of these games quickly. So,
man,
shout out to @Sox Machine.
Man, geez, it was crazy. What do we do from here? I mean, what is there any ray of hope to I don't know, I'm not even talking about division. That's gone. I'm talking about to be competitive. Is there anything to that White Sox fans should look forward to, or is this just a tax write-off for companies to take off a couple day games? I mean, because this is you can't give me one run, Papa? None? One run?
Yeah. Right now, not really. I said I'd bring up the defense again. I've been on your show a bunch, and I've preached my love of baseball defense. I do. I love it. I think it's a very important, underrated part of the game. I don't think you should build a team around it. Like, that's not the first step. I haven't really heard Getz say his full plan, which is fine. I don't, he doesn't have to come out publicly and say that, but he has already came out and said, the first thing he wanted to do was fix the defense. That was the glaring hole. That's fine. That's, obviously that's a logical direction to head this team. But my thing preaching with defense is I think defense should be kind of the last part, because you got to get talent. You have to be able to hit, and then you surround that talent with important parts that can, help in those fundamental parts of the team, which is kind of what they didn't do during the window. Now they're kind of building a team backwards, in my opinion. So I guess if you like Nicky Lopez making diving stops, then watch White Sox baseball this year. But other than that, until Colson comes up, I think that's probably the biggest thing White Sox fans want to see this year. We'll see how long that takes, because you got to have some glimmer of hope. I mean, some of these pitchers that come up, you'll at least want to keep an eye on. Clearly, the offseason plan with all the trades that they made at the deadline last year, and then even like the Bummer trade, they brought in a bunch of young arms, and I'm fine with that. I'm fine with the quantity approach, because throw a bunch of stuff at the wall and something will stick. A big problem with this team was the pitching depth in that window, that you didn't have minor league pitchers come up and kind of show up. It was just the guys you got from those trades, Cease, Kopech, Giolito. Those were the guys that was all you had. I mean, you went out and got, you traded for Lance Lynn. What did you trade for Lance Lynn? You traded Dane Dunning, who was another guy you got from one of those big trades. So it was only that. They never got another guy, drafted a pitcher that has come up and had any success. So with the quantity that they do have in the farm, you're going to see guys churn all season long from the pitching staff. I think I set the over under at 10.5 starting pitchers this season that you'll see from the White Sox, and that might be a little low.
Yeah, it might be.
But those are the things. I mean, obviously, and then from hitting, of course, Robert is awesome. Didn't look wonderful yesterday. I mean, it's just one game, and I know he didn't have that great of a spring. Vaughn looked good. If you want something to hang your head on, I thought Vaughn's approach looked pretty good yesterday, and he had a good spring as well. If he could take a leap, obviously that'd be pretty exciting for White Sox fans.
Any youngsters that we should be looking at? I mean, obviously we know the name, but these guys are youngsters, and Vaughn and Moncada and Luis Robert and Eloy. But any youngsters that are on the team that we should look for, or anyone in double AAA that might come up to the show and be someone to look for toward the future?
I mean, Brian Ramos is really the only guy that pops to the top of my head. I think on the present team, Dominic Fletcher is just a guy I want to keep an eye on, just because I like guys like that, grinder guy. We'll see. They threw Colas away so quickly that I can't even really describe what happened there. Obviously, he would still be somebody that I would want to see what he's capable of, but clearly he's at least in Pedro's doghouse. So I don't know if that's ever going to happen. Maybe they can move him and have him see if the grass is greener on the other side. But no, it's going to be pitching guys that I think you're going to see more, because I think right now, they got these journeyman guys, the Paul DeYoungs of the world, Nicky Lopez's, Kevin Pillar. That's the plan. I don't really understand, because you kind of do that when you're going to make an approach for a younger guy that's not quite ready, but they don't really have a ton of that in the minors. So personally, I think that they should just let these young kids play, because why not? And I understand, you don't want to move them up too quickly, but at the same time, what else is there to look for?
Keeping them down there.
The 6 through 9 in the lineup yesterday, you knew that nothing was going to happen. Andrew Vaughn led off the second with a single, I think. And what's behind him? He's going to just stay on first base. No one's going to do anything behind him.
Boy, it's frustrating this year being a White Sox fan. Like I said, I only went because I was saying earlier in the show, I was tailgating out in La G, right next to the right across from 35th Street Dogs. And a friend of mine I hadn't seen in like 7 years, maybe even 10 years. She just walked right through the tailgate, just trying to get to the 35th. And I was like, Vanessa. And she turned around like, oh my God, hon, I haven't seen you in it's been years. That was like one of the reasons I went, just to see who I would see at the game, people I hadn't seen in a long time, because I didn't expect them to win. I was hoping they would win. I didn't expect them to win. I didn't know how I'm saying, okay, Yo-Yo, Eloy, Lou Bob, okay, Vaughn, give me a couple. Give me a home run or two. You know what I mean? Give me a gapper. Yeah. Even if you didn't score, Yo-Yo, go shopping at the Gap. Let me stand on second base. Do something like this. Get me excited a little bit. And nothing, man. Nothing. And it's just so my next question is, who do you think that they do you see anyone that they offer up by the trade deadline?
Yeah. It's going to be
tough.
tough.
That we're going to talk about that after game one, but it's the reality of the situation.
Right. I mean, both. I mean, Eloy and Yo are the candidates, but it's a lot of money. So are you going to just be paying, their salary with them, and will Jerry do that? I doubt it. So that probably puts a halt to that. I mean, you're not going to move Crochet. He's got too many years left on his contract. I mean, some of these guys that they got, who's Flexen or I guess Fetty, you could hope really hit it big, and then you can move them at the deadline. But that's another big questioning point for me throughout the offseason. You didn't even spend money on guys that you could flip. You know, it's fine if you want to go in and lose and rebuild, but they're 50 million, I think, less than payroll than last year. And then you saw these guys get way underpaid. Jordan Montgomery got way underpaid. Even Blake Snell got way underpaid. Lorenzen, those are the types of guys that you could have gone out and got and just paid, $25 million, still less than last year's payroll. And it still had the capability of flipping them at the deadline. So you're really only paying 12 and a half, if you think about it that way, and possibly getting a prospect. I mean, that was possible that they did, and they could have done, and they didn't. So there's not many pieces here. Even in the bullpen, it's all other people's trash right now. We have no idea. We have no idea who the closer is. I guess, they throw Kopech in the 9th inning and he's got 25 saves by the deadline. You can move him, but I don't think that's going to happen, Shawn.
25 saves means 25 wins.
Yeah, that's true. Well, they'll be in save opportunities. I mean, they won't score enough runs to ever be, more than 3 runs above in the 9th inning. So if they do get a lead, it will be a save opportunity.
That's a scathing indictment of Getz in his first year as GM. Like, you have to know, like you said, you have to know you can flip. If you need prospects, you need prospects. Okay, so sign people, trade, sign quality people, all right, and flip them at the deadline, because you always know that there's every year there's going to be a team in contention, all right, who is looking for one extra piece, or there's going to be a team that's fighting for playoffs position that looking for one extra piece. There's always a team looking for one extra piece, and you can do that. And he didn't. Do you still think that they hold on to Robert with? I mean, you have to pry Louis Robert from their dying hands. Is he here for a while?
I don't know. You would think, you got to hold on to a center field piece like that, but are they going to spend money? That's going to, it's going to come back to Jerry 100%. That's why I'm so sour on this team right now, is just because he's finally kind of deflated my balloon with this team, just with everything that's happened. But I don't know if it took me 40 years to come to this realization, but I'm here. So nothing's going to change. We've seen the conversation about the stadium and wanting the state to pay for it, stuff like that. Parking always going up in prices. It just never stops with that guy, and it seems like he doesn't care. So because that's the point that you have to come back to. He came out with the press conference last year. Was the first time we've seen him talk in how many years. The first thing he brings up is the shooting thing, which was like wild. And then his whole argument for hiring Getz is how he doesn't want this to be a long turnaround, and he wants somebody that knows all the players, and it'll take somebody from outside the organization too long to learn everybody in the organization. So he didn't want that. And then they sell everybody and start over anyway, and they don't spend any money. None of it makes any logical sense, and that's why I was like, I'm out. Just get me out of here. I will watch the other 29 teams because I do love the game of baseball. So I'll be around. The Tigers, I still say the Tigers took my manager that I wanted, and now they took my announcer. So, sign me up for a Detroit TV package.
They, oh man, they had a little, there's a fervor in the crowd yesterday when they put Jason Benetti up on the screen.
Did they?
Yeah, so a lot of people cheered.
Good.
Yeah,
there was I don't know if you heard, there was a highlight reel that they did for Robert, like right before first pitch. It was kind of a weird positioning of the production. But every highlight they showed, it was Jason's voice. You would think, like, why not put Len's voice behind all these highlights?
Yeah.
You have the tape for that. So, but it was all Jason. And it was like, because Schifrin, got introduced, and then they went to this highlight package with Robert with a bunch of Jason's voice, and then they go right back to Schifrin. It was like, that was awkward.
Oh yeah. Here's the new one. After we just heard the old one for so long, but here's a new one.
And a buddy said maybe it was produced last year and they just ran it back, which obviously we would not put past the White Sox doing that.
Yeah, definitely not. So, yeah, I don't know how many games I'm going to this year. It's definitely going to be nowhere near 10. It's going to be closer to 5. Just, and I got a break on parking, so mine was only 25. I was like, whoa, because this parking is 35 now. And every year I would, because last year was 30. The year before that, it was 27. The year before that, it was 25. The year before that, it was 20. And I was like, and it kept going up incrementally. I'm like, damn, dude, like now it's $35. I'm like, that's, just literally from 4 years ago from the same spot.
Right.
Same spot.
And it was 20 like our whole lives. I mean, it was 20 for 20 years. And then,
yeah. I'm okay with 20. That's cool, fine. The first time it hit 20, it was, damn, that's a lot, but all right. And the next year,
okay,
it's still 20.
Yeah, you go with the buddy, you split 10 and 10. Yeah,
go next year, still 20. Like, okay, this ain't too bad. The next year you split. It was like that for a minute. I was like, okay, cool. And then 25, and then it's like, and then they put that what they've done to us. So yeah, it's again, I'm almost there with you, Casey. They're still my team, but they're my favorite team on the protest right now. So
exactly. And yeah, I got an almost 2-year-old that needs to go to his first baseball game one of these days. So obviously it's got to be at that park. So I'll probably be out there at least once this year, but that might be it.
Dude, great stuff, man. I appreciate it. Let everyone know where they can find you and your work online.
Yeah, at Casey Boguslaw, at Concourse Potable. We'll see what we're doing with it in the future. We might be making some changes behind the scenes, but if you need me for anything, at Casey Boguslaw, and go Illini.
Go. That's right. Saturday against defending champs could be a good one. It'll be a real good one. So, hey, great stuff, buddy. I didn't know if did you see I was out in Arizona again with hanging out with Bob 2 weeks ago. For
beautiful,
right around St. Patty's Day. Yeah, it was a good time. And that was the whole Justin Fields trade. I was out there when the whole thing happened, and yeah, that was not good. But anyway, we'll catch up another time, boss. We'll talk soon, man. I appreciate your time. Thanks, Casey.
Thanks so much for having me, Shawn.
All righty, guys. That's Casey Boguslaw, baseball analyst, talking White Sox baseball with me, and there's not a lot to talk, but we were talking. That game was fast. That game was ugly. Like I said, 2 hours and 3 minutes for a 9-inning game. What the hell? It was crazy. As I said, I teased someone yesterday about was Burley on the mound or not. What the heck? So it was probably an omen of what is to come this year. Not a lot of runs being scored. And if the White Sox aren't scoring a lot of runs, they're up, they're batting, and they're back on defense quick, fast. So he said Margulis from Sox Machine tweeted that the Sox are definitely not going to waste your time. You keep having games like this, you ain't lying. Do you realize that game was shorter than a Bulls game? That game yesterday was much shorter than a Bulls game. What in the blue hell is that all about? I don't know. So we're gonna see. Do you keep Garrett? Do you keep Crochet and flip him, or is he a guy you're gonna build around? Him and Lewis Robert, are those two guys the two guys you're gonna build around? Because I don't think you're gonna get you're gonna be able to get any top free agents. No, who the hell's gonna want to come to the South Side? Oh, by the way, yesterday, Tim Anderson, first at bat, doubles in Jake Berger. Tim Anderson's first at bat for Miami, he doubles in Jake Berger. I'm happy for Tim. He needed a change of scenery. I'm happy for Jake Berger. Why they traded him, I have no idea. That was Kenny's last FU to the White Sox organization. But man, see Tim, and you know what he did? He went oppo. He went right field. And we all know when Tim Anderson was winning batting titles, was in the top 5 of batting average every year, he was going opposite field. He sprayed the ball all over the park. And this one went to the right field corner, and Jake Berger scored. And I really do hope that TA's got his life together. I hope he's in a much better place. Okay, I know the situation with him. If you don't remember, he was married with a child or children, and then he had another child out of wedlock, and that seemed to affect him. That the mother of his the girl in the extramarital affair, she put that on IG, them hanging out and driving or something, and that started the downfall. That I don't think he'd ever really recovered from when his really close friend, the godfather of his daughter, his first daughter, okay, was murdered. I don't know if he ever got over that. And then, to deal with this. And again, this is self-inflicted, all right? No, it's not, but it's still something tough to deal with, And I just think, and I personally think that, like a lot of people, a change of scenery was good for him. A change of scenery was necessary for him. So, yeah. Listen, we're going to take a quick break. On the other side of the break, we're going to talk a little Cubs baseball. All right, some Bulls basketball, and then we'll finish up the show with some NCAA and some Bears talk. And don't forget, a little later today, 12 o'clock, or 12:15, excuse me, Second City Sports with Lakina McGee and Sydney Brown. And then today I'll be on at 3 o'clock with Nomad doing our daily Bears talk. So make sure we have a lot going on. And this show will be re-aired tonight at 6. Yeah, 6 o'clock tonight. All right. So let's take a break. All right. Don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Yeah, hello. I'm really not sure if this is what you all do, but I really don't have anywhere else to turn.
Hi. I don't even know why I'm calling right now. I'm sorry. My thoughts are going a mile a minute.
My kids are out of state. My buddies from the Army are all gone now. I'm really alone.
I left the service last year. My mom just passed away a few months ago. I miss so much time with her. I keep getting calls about the bills, and I'm trying to get a job, but I feel so stuck.
Okay, ma'am. I'm glad you called.
Okay, sir. Let's stay on the line and walk through some things.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
We're looking for a few heroes, mentors, trailblazers, innovators. A passion to change lives, spark curiosity, open hearts, and awaken minds. Help students answer the question, who am I? This could be your calling, but this is no job. It's the journey of a lifetime. Be a hero. Be a teacher.
Every day we take steps to keep the people we love safe, but some health risks are easy to miss. Ticks hiding in the yard can spread germs, like the ones that cause Lyme disease. Mice searching for food can spread bacteria that makes us sick. Mosquitoes lay eggs in standing water and can spread West Nile virus and more. Cockroaches are drawn to water in the home, leaving behind allergens that can trigger asthma attacks. Common pests can threaten our health. Learn how to protect your family at pestworld.org.
Mental health and learning disorders don't discriminate. 17 million children and adolescents in the United States live with disorders like anxiety, depression, ADHD, and dyslexia. Less than half get the help they need to thrive. Help the Child Mind Institute change these children's lives. Visit childmind.org.
He has become one of the best left-handed starters in the National League.
Swing and a miss. Good battle back for Justin Steele. He punches out Marcus. Series MVP, second time that he won that. Had sports hernia surgery January 30th. He's gone. Steele slippery to get 2 punch-outs here.
Christopher Morel will lead off the second inning. 0-0 game.
This one is smoked to left field, and that turns Carter around. He will leap and not be able to make the catch. And Christopher Morel hits second, and he's coming to third. And he beats it with a triple off the wall from Morel.
Fastball hitters, you could say, in the game.
And he will get the job done as he drives one to right center field. This one is deep enough, certainly to get Morel in. All the way to the track goes Tavares. It's 1-0 Cubs.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those Cubs courtesy of ESPN. The Cubs with a tough one. Tough one I've seen, rough day to start, opening day. All right. But there's still a lot more promise there than there is on the south side. All right. This kills me. It kills me to talk about this. You see what hat I'm wearing. But the Cubs are a team that, they're going to be in a lot of games. They just went toe-to-toe with the world champions. All right. With the World Series champions. Took them to extras. All right. My man James Ford checking in. Good morning, Papa. How are you? Thanks for tuning in. Shawn, yeah, you're right. He's responsible for all that. But the Cubs, on the other hand, they're sitting pretty. All right. I assume, or I plan on them. I think they're going to be able to make the playoffs. I think they're going to vie for the division title. I think they're going to vie for the division title at some point or toward the end of the season. And I think Cub fans should be excited. Monday is their home opener. All right. They're back to the friendly confines on Monday against Colorado for a 3-game set. And you saw why having Christopher Morel at third base is important. You saw that his bat needs to be in the lineup, period. It needs to be there on a consistent basis, day in and day out. This is a young kid. Is he 23, 24? All right, a young kid who could play a lot of positions, okay, and it just doesn't have a true position. Outfield, all right, outfield spots, infield spots. But if you leave him at third and his bat's in the lineup every game, same spot, man, that makes a difference. Okay, that makes a difference. When you know your routine, and that's what many people don't understand. It's, just throw him in here. You can play him here, center today, and short tomorrow, and third and next. And you move up and down the order. Like, you don't want to do that. Like, you don't want to do that because the thing about players is that they like routine. Baseball players in particular. All right, because you're looking at 162 games. They want to have a routine down. Okay? They want to have a routine because they're on the road. They're traveling all the time. They're home for 3, They're on the road for 3. They're home for 6. They're on the road for 6. They're home for 7. Home for 10. All right, they're on the road for 6. They're back and forth and back and forth. You want to have a routine. You want to know where you're going to be batting every day. You want to know where you're going to be playing every day. And it may not seem like a lot to you, but just think about your job. What if you go to work every day and say, hey, I know you're in billing, but we're going to put you over in customer service today. I know you're in customer service yesterday, but we're going to put you in billing today. Or we're going to put you, at the help desk or wherever. And it changes every day. That would be frustrating. Professional? Yeah, you got to make some money. But it's not ideal. It's not optimal. And having this kid in the lineup is only going to help. You got studs. Dansby Swanson, Cody Bellinger, all right, RBIs yesterday. But you're going to need other people to step up. You're going to need youngsters to step up. And with Morel in there on a consistent basis now, maybe he's one of those guys that steps up. It's a perfect opportunity for him to step up. Okay. Justin Steele goes down yesterday with a hamstring issue. Man, Cub fans are not happy to hear about that. And what happened? Somebody said, yeah, Cornelius. Yeah. What was Steele doing all spring to pull his hamstring first? And it didn't look like it was anything crazy that he contorted his body. He was dealing. Justin Steele was dealing yesterday. And it makes you wonder why did it didn't seem like the grass was wet or anything. If that happens, your foot can slide and, it's a whole bunch of things when the grass is wet, but that wasn't the case. The grass wasn't wet. It was dry. The ground wasn't wet. And it didn't look crazy. It didn't. But, the thing about hamstrings, because it's soft muscle, like one wrong movement, it's very easy to tweak. Very easy to tweak, as we saw yesterday. So now you got your ace. So they're doing an MRI today, and they're going to figure out if it's a grade 1, 2, or 3, 2 to 4, 4 to 6, or 6 to 8 weeks. All right. That's not good for Cub fans. That's not good at all. Now they need their other pitching, the other members of that rotation to step up big time. They need to figure out who they're going to have replacing him in the rotation. Or is that going to be a bullpen day? Well, you probably don't want it a bullpen day because most likely it's going to line up with another team's number 1. Another team's number 1. So you want a bullpen day with facing another team's number 1 or 2? Yeah. Probably not. So my question is, what do the Cubs do? They have to make a move. They have to. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They have to get somebody else. I'm sure they're just going to slide everybody up. Maybe they'll have a bullpen game for the 5th starter. But you have today off, which kind of resets everything or gives you an extra time off. But you're going to have to navigate that. And I think you can. You got Kyle Hendricks. You got plenty of pitchers. It's not like, but it just to have something like that happen first game of the season. And mind you, we don't know how long it's going to be, just contingent on what grade of the tear it was. All right. Or grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, of a hamstring strain. It's fun. This is going to be fun on the north side. All right, you're gonna see stadium's going to be rocking. All right, ball's going to be leaving the yard on Waveland, on Sheffield. All right, base runners are going to be stealing bases and running the bases well. It's going to be a good time up there for them. Although yesterday started off not the way they would have liked. But again, you are facing the defending World Series champions. Okay, you're facing the defending champs. So we'll see how they do tomorrow, game 2. All right, maybe today their off day helps them. Okay, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I'm anxious to see from afar how well they can do this year. I'm anxious to see how Christopher Morel or how Cody Bellinger, if he follows up this season with a season just like last. Okay, if Dansby Swanson lives up to his contract this year. All right, Ian Happ. All right, Chris Morel. Like all these guys, are you able to live up to your contracts? Are you able to, take a big step if you're a youngster? Hey, Suzuki, he was 1 for 5 yesterday. All right, how does he fit in? Does he have a bigger step up? Nicky 2 strikes. Because you had Morel as a DH, and that's the one thing you can do. Because they had Nicky 2 strikes at third, you can keep him as a DH, but just don't move him around too much in the order in the lineup, because that's tough. It's tough. Keeping him in at DH, you don't want to do that too much because he's a youngster. Like DH is better suited for older guys, in my opinion. All right, youngsters may find the lack of playing, I should say, in the field, that inactivity could affect them mentally. I think as you start getting older and you get like pure hitters or power hitters, I think that's where the best fits describes a good DH. Wow, really? King Booker, I normally go to about 20, 25 games a year, and this year I refuse to give money to this organization. I hear you, bro. You heard me with Casey. Like, I usually go to 10 plus a year. I don't know if I'll make 5. But there's a lot going on up on the north side. All right. Hey, Suzuki, does he have a bounce back year and set the table because as the number 2 hitter? I mean, you set the table. Like, do you realize who you have behind you? Hey, yeah. Mr. Outcast himself. Hey, yeah. Do you realize who you have behind you? I think you should. I think you should realize who you have behind you and take advantage of it. I mean, you have a nice little, I don't want to say murderer's row because that's too, but you got a nice little squad coming after you. All right. You got Bellinger right behind you. Like, how can you not hit in front of Bellinger? Bellinger, Morel, Swanson. Come on, man. You got some studs behind you. Get on base. Ian Happ, those are your guys' jobs. If Ian doesn't get on, then Suzuki, you got to get on. If Ian gets on, Suzuki, you got to get him over. And that's the thing. Are you going to play complementary? You're going to play fundamental baseball. A lot of people are straying away from it because the metrics say you shouldn't sacrifice. The metrics. Yeah, well, you know what? It's won a lot of people a lot of games. You know how the Sox lost yesterday? A sacrifice. Fly ball to center field. Baez scored. Why is Baez always scoring on my White Sox? Why? He's scoring or driving in runs. Always. Just a White Sox killer. But I digress. I did mention TA got his RBI. Yes, that hurt me. But I'm not even going to go there. I'm not even going to go there. We talked about it earlier, the Bulls. The Bulls tonight. All right, they travel to the Brooklyn Zoo. They travel to Brooklyn and take on the Nets. And this team is so bizarre. This team is so bizarre. How do you lose to the Washington Wizards, team with the worst record in the NBA? And granted, they had a 2-game win streak coming into that game. And then you beat the Indiana blowout. Not just beat, you blow out the Indiana Pacers. Blow them out. The fifth seed in the East, you blow out, and you lose to the team with the worst record in basketball. Go figure. So now what do you do? What do you expect from this team with at Brooklyn tonight? All right, Brooklyn is a couple games behind us. We're 35-38. Brooklyn is 28-45. So a much inferior team we're dealing with. So do we lose to them again now, like we did the Wizards? And here's my issue. Who's the leader of this team? Who's the leader of this team that says, you know what, we got to stop coming out against these shitty teams and playing down to their level? Who's the leader that you respect? Who? Is it Kobe White now that he's made that transformation into a potential all-star every year? Is it defensive stud Alex Caruso? Who steps up in the locker room and says enough is enough? Who steps up in the locker room and says we can't lower our level of play to the competition? Who? Because I don't know. I don't see DeMar doing it. DeMar's just too laid back and chill. I don't see Zach doing it. One, Zach's not playing, but two, I don't know how that would be received in the locker room. I don't know if he's a guy that can talk. When he talks, people listen. I don't know. I know about his contract. I don't know if that garners respect throughout that locker room. We know it can't be Vooch. Because listen to Kendall Gill the other day. You know, they asked him, well, who's the fault? Who's to blame? Is it Billy Donovan? Is it the players? He's like, it's the players. Like a coach can only do so much. Like if you can't get motivated for a game, man, why? Why can you not get motivated for a game? What is the issue? You know, the problem with that is the new generation of players that we were talking about earlier. New generation of players. Like the mentality is nowhere near what it was with people who make a quarter of their money. A quarter. Yeah, here it is, King Booker World. Seems like some of you young athletes don't take their craft as seriously as they should. Accidents happen, but conditioning in sports is down, period. Have some pride. You know, like it boggles my mind how you could be getting paid millions of dollars and not get excited for a game, not get up for a game, not see a team that you should destroy and pounce on them. Do not let them breathe. Do not give them a chance to breathe. The Bulls should have came out 15-0. Should have been that type of game. But the desire, the intensity is not there. And yeah, some of it falls on Billy. Yeah, Billy, damn it. But it also falls on the players. Great teams, and that's why I ask who the leader is. Great teams regulate themselves. Regulators, mount up. Great teams regulate themselves. Who's the leader on this team? Who's going to regulate besides Nate Dogg and Warren G? Rest in peace, Nate Dogg. Andre Drummond's a big dude, but he's more quiet, more passive. I don't know what him saying anything would be. Does it have to be DeMar? But how inspiring is DeMar? How? I don't know. And it sucks because you have some talent. Trust me, you're not NBA Finals ready by any stretch, but you have talent. You got to play hard. You got to play fundamentally sound. You got to box out. You have to rebound. Stay in. This will keep you in games. But for whatever reason, they don't want to. You want to come out against Washington and fall down 15 zip to Washington. Come on. And then blow out Indiana. What that says there's the level of focus is not where it needs to be. Part of this falls on Billy, and the majority of it falls on the players. Oh, you know what the team's record is. You know how good they are. You're toward the end of the season. You know exactly what a team is when they come in here. Or you go to them. You know exactly what they are. If they're in the East, you probably played them already. You've seen the highlights. You've seen the clips. And I'm sure your coaches have gone in depth with you and broken it down. But to start off the way they did against Washington is completely unacceptable. Completely. And I get it. They may have lost motivation because they're kind of stuck in the 9th spot for the play-in. If they win, so just keep winning and losing and winning and losing. Keep a 500 record and you'll be set in the 9th. You'll be ready for the play-in. But that's not what we want. As fans, that's not what we want. As fans, that's not what we expect. As fans, that's not what we deserve. We'll just keep them competitive. Get them into play-in. Yeah, this is bothersome to me. This is real bothersome. Because I don't like the two faces of this team. I don't like it at all. So, you listen to Stacey a lot. You listen to Kendall Gill a lot, and you realize obviously those players are from a different time, different era, but some of the core values are the same. As far as respecting the franchise, respecting your behavior. I don't know. Frustrating to say the least. All right? Frustrating to say the least. I mean, what are you doing if you're Kobe White? How do you feel? Zach's not playing. Okay. Who else is someone else? Anyway. Zach's not playing. You're down one of your big homies. How do you feel, Kobe White? How do you feel? Are you upset? Are you cool with it? You think you're better off without it? I don't know. There's a lot to kind of peel back and look at. But there's still definitely talent on this team, And the fact is that they're civil, they're bipolar about it. It's frustrating. So Brooklyn is a poor team, so we get blown out today. I think that's what we can expect. I think that is what we can expect from them today. Wonderful. Just freaking wonderful. You know? Listen, let's take one more break. Final break of the show. Final break of the week. Baby. Final break of the week. Let's do that. Let's keep it locked right here. Don't go anywhere. We're going to have a little Bears talk. All right? Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
To run for 17, back he goes, here comes Chubb, there goes the ball, touchdown, Mooney! Jones will walk at the left tackle, time for Fields, now he'll accelerate to get the first down, great tackles, and he's off to the races, and we got a terrific block.
For every generation, it has started with the call to serve. Discovering the purpose and the belonging earned with the title. Learning to dig deep and push through adversity together. Defending our nation and its people. It is a life of great worth and reward. But Marines are never really finished serving. Their commitment comes full circle, visible in communities across our country. This is Semper Fidelis, always faithful, always Marine, marking a path for the next generation.
So I've come up with the family emergency plan.
Great. What is it?
It's difficult to talk about, so I'm not telling you.
How will we know what to do?
You won't.
I'm so glad I won't have to remember anything.
And me too. Thanks for this, sweetie.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311.
This year, my mom got me the perfect bag for back to school.
These colorful binders help me stay organized.
These headphones are just what I need for studying.
These new sneakers are just what I need for the new year.
This jacket is a real must-have.
My parents got me the skateboard I wanted. It's pretty cool.
These scissors really come in handy in art class. These colored pencils, too.
These new socks, they can be a real lifesaver.
And I finally got my own phone to stay in touch with my mom.
Like when RG3 comes out, you heard it. Yeah. Okay. Don't you think like your particular Bears feels different than maybe the previous Bears? Like that's how we feel outside looking in. It's like, hey, this is a brand new building almost. Does it feel like that in there? And obviously you weren't there beforehand, but does it feel like you and Eberflus's cultures? Because at the end of the last season, it feels like, okay, the culture's kind of settling in, team settling in. You guys feel that obviously?
Yeah, it pisses me off a little bit, to be honest with you, because we were hired to break a cycle. The same thing when I was in Kansas City. Coach Reed, all of us were brought there to break a cycle, and we did. And no one talks about those days anymore. It's all about what they are right now. So I really believe we're about to break this cycle and get this city in a really good situation and win a lot of games. So the past is the past. Like, I don't worry about that at all. It's about where we're going.
Okay, well, a lot of people had a similar reaction to you.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning at Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of ESPN. That was Ryan Poles from the owners' meeting down in Orlando, and he was on the Pat McAfee show, and he was just talking, about the RG3 comment. We played that already, and we talked about that, and yeah. Brian. Ryan says group hug for Shawn because of players' attitudes, and a group hug for Nomad over the Bears socks. If you don't know that, that's it's not even an inside joke. If you watch, you got to watch this. It's our daily Bears talk with SuperBack and Nomad. He went on a rant the other day about the Bears socks. He doesn't like the socks. He doesn't like the blue socks striped with orange. He doesn't like them. And he went on a tirade about them. He was really mad, like literally mad. That's Plank. Plank's like, still laughing about that socks, the Bears socks rant. Oh man. But yeah, you know what? The culture is changing at Hallis Hall. The culture is changing. And I'm telling you, and I could be wrong. Okay. I was wrong before. But something doesn't seem right about this whole thing. Something just doesn't seem right. Because if you're going to take Caleb and he wants to come here, then it's a marriage. Unless you're still waiting for the medicals. April 2nd, Tuesday. Tuesday, he comes to Hallis Hall. So, do they have the medicals? And at that point, do they say we're taking Caleb? Because it just makes sense if that's what you want. Or do you put the number one pick on the block if that's what you want? Do you now talk to Washington? Excuse me. Something just doesn't seem right about this. Pat McAfee in that interview, we didn't have it in the clip, but he's like, you're taking Caleb with the number one overall pick, right? And Ryan Poles said, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Can't say most likely. Can't say barring anything crazy. Can't say we're leaning toward it. Can't say anything. But we'll see. And then when Caleb Williams was asked at his pro day, he said, oh, things can change. When they said they've cleared the runway for you by trading Justin Fields for you to land, you go into the Bears. He's like, I don't know, things can change. There's something there. Because you say, hey, I'm excited to go to Chicago. He was right there. Because previously he said, I'm excited to go to Chicago if they draft me. Or I'm excited to go to anywhere where they draft me. Well, just covering your ass. Oh boy. I'm sure we'll find out about it in the green room at 3 o'clock, before 3 o'clock today. And there's a situation here. They're talking. Look at this. Look at this situation. Who has the best situation for a rookie quarterback? Look, the Minnesota Vikings got Kevin O'Connell, great play caller. Aaron Jones with the Green Bay Packers. Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson. It's a nice squad. It's something nice for a rookie quarterback to step into. Or the Bears. Shane Waldron, good play caller. DeAndre Swift, good running back. Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, freaking stud wide receivers. Cole Kmet, good tight end. Or is it Denver? Sean Payton as a play caller, very good Super Bowl winning play caller. Javonte Williams, Pro Bowler Cortland Sutton, Josh Reynolds, Greg Dulcich is their tight end. Or what about the Raiders? Luke Getsy, I think that disqualifies them from best situation. But Luke Getsy, Zamir White is a running back, Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers, stud receivers, Michael Mayer, tight end. I'm thinking Minnesota and Chicago are the two tops. I don't think Denver and Oakland, LA, or Las Vegas, excuse me, I got to get it right. I think the Luke Getsy thing is one of the reasons that they not the place to go or not a best situation for a rookie quarterback. I think the Luke Getsy situation is it. But Minnesota, great spot. Oh, man. Because we've been forgetting about Minnesota. Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. Cornelius, I'm going to be extremely pissed if the Bears don't draft Caleb after trading Justin. You and a whole bunch of other people. Me too. King Booker World says, calling it now. Aaron Jones, 220 yards on Green Bay when he plays them. Hey, man, you might be right. That is revenge. Revenge. So which situation would you like? If you're a quarterback, we talked about the Bears quarterback situation being the best. It's probably still the best for the number 1 overall pick ever. Minnesota's there. I hear you. I hear you, Cornelius. This is Brian. How can you trade someone who wants to be here for a guy who doesn't? Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't know. I agree. I don't know if Caleb wants to be here. That hasn't been proven to me. He hasn't said it. Oh, he's intimated, or he said, "Oh yeah, it'd be great to play in Chicago." The past. No, I can't wait to get to Chicago. I can't wait to be a Bear. I can't wait to get drafted by the Bears. Something definitive. Because there's no one else. Like the Bears have the number 1 pick. It's not like I have to wait. That should be happening now. And maybe the NFL is telling them, because remember, the NFL is a production. The NFL is a production. Remember that. Okay, so if they just said, hey, well, you know what? The Bears are taking Caleb too. Okay, cool. It starts thinking about number 2, but no one cares about number 2. Everyone wants to find out about number 1. But I think you can still move on. You can still have a lot of conversation. Even if the Bears say, hey, we're taking Caleb Williams. All right, well, let's find out what Washington's doing. You can still have great conversation. Washington, do they want Drake May? Do they want Jaden Daniels? Do they want J.J. McCarthy? Are they going to trade out of that spot for more picks so they get a quarterback next year, but have more picks for this quarterback? What What would Washington do if the Bears said we're taking Caleb Williams, and Caleb says yes, I can't wait to go to Chicago? Yeah, he's not going to tell you. Poles never been that transparent. No one's ever pinned down who Poles was going to draft. Yeah, of course not. He's not telling you. Yo, Black Diamond in the Mickey Ficky house. What's up, Papa? Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, he's not going to tell you who he's drafting. So, which is why something, again, just doesn't sit well. The math isn't mathing. And I could be wrong. But as I said that, remember, I take you back to the NFL is a production. This may be what it is that they're telling Ryan Poles. Hey, listen, don't say anything, drag it out, keep the interest high. That rumors swirl around, and they're talking about those rumors. Now one's talking about Jim Harbaugh trading Justin Herbert to the Bears for the number 1 pick, so he can go draft J.J. McCarthy. All these scenarios are coming up, and the NFL loves it. The NFL loves it. Brian, you filled in for me yesterday? I didn't feel so. That makes you the super sub. So what situation would you like? Minnesota or the Bears, the Raiders, or the Broncos? I think for me, it's neck and neck with Chicago and Minnesota. It's neck and neck. And I know a lot of pro Caleb people are still, now they're still good. Stop with this. Stop with that. Stop. I don't want to hear it. Caleb's getting drafted. Stop it. This is stupid. It's a moot point. You're a clown. You're an idiot. Blah, 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 blah. Caleb's the guy. He's getting drafted. Caleb is the Hall. What if he's not? And the one thing that Black Diamond, that would end their world. That would end their world. That would end their world. See, the one thing that is so puzzling to me is Coach Eberflus talking about continuing with install. Like, why are you installing stuff if this guy's not going to be here? You don't install stuff with a person you're not going to draft. He said, we're going to continue with install. Get him at the whiteboard. So is that what he means? Because did he just throw that out as a red herring? So I'm trying to figure out one way or the other. It seems like he's going to be the number 1 pick. You know, pink phone, lip gloss, and pink nails aside, it seems like he's going to be the number 1 pick for the Bears. So why not just say it? Or is it the powers that be, the NFL, saying, no, don't say it because of all the fervor, the chatter? Just doesn't make sense to me. The Bears done. All right. I said, hey, let's sign Jadeveon Clowney. Nope. He got picked up. So who do we go with defensive end? Opposite Sweat. Or do you stay with DeMarcus Walker? Stay with DeMarcus Walker, get a DN to get an edge next year, or draft this year and one next year. Who knows? Who knows? But that's really all they need on this defense. And then they'll just get some depth. Because on the show that I do with Nomad, we talked about it the other day. Depth. Like if Montez Sweat goes down, who's behind him? First of all, who's opposite him on the other end? Most likely DeMarcus Walker. And what's the depth behind them? What's the depth? But the top 11, top 10 are studs. The secret squirrel stuff went out the window when the Bears traded Justin. That's what I thought as well. But there's still, is it just the medicals? Why they can't say we're taking Caleb? Because they're talking about this guy loves him, this guy loves him. Nobody, his teammates don't like him. They love him. He's this, he's that. Now they're all in the Caleb Kool-Aid. But you won't commit to drafting him. Something's funny. And again, it could just all be posturing. That's right, Junior. Do me a favor. Hit the like button. Smash that like button, folks. Give me some traction. I'm doing some stuff, and I need some traction, baby. Some traction. So not only do I need people tuning into the show, but give me likes as well. Hit the like button, please. I think now that I shouldn't say everybody. Many people are tired of this conversation. Pro Caleb fans are disgusted with the conversation. You can't even bring up them not taking Caleb. Because then you're an idiot, you're a clown, you're stupid, you're a moron, you're a short buster. It's like, it's just their opinion, you know what I mean? Like, people are just so adamant about their position that they, feel the need to act crazy. But I want to see. I can't wait. It's almost like, all right, fast forward already. Man, just fast forward to the draft. Because April 4th? April 24th? 2024. April 25th to 27th. April 25th to 27th. All right, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Okay. 1, 2, 3, almost 4 weeks. And I don't know where they're going to go. Are we taking the quarterback there? Are we trading back? And we talked about it. What do we do at 9 if we take the quarterback? Do we trade back? Do we take Marvin Harrison Jr. will be gone? Or maybe he falls. Maybe people think Romeo Dunze or Malik Lambers is a better receiver. I don't know. We'll find out. It's going to be interesting to see as it plays out. And the only thing we can do is wait. Because if you speculate, people are like, you don't know what you're talking about. And like, this is my opinion. Like, this is my opinion. What do you mean I don't know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Yeah. Brian, I want to see everyone on the Nomad and Shawn podcast later, 3 o'clock today, 3 o'clock Central. Yes. Herbert from the Chargers. Yeah, I could see that too. Stud receivers. I mean, now you're dropping a veteran, not dropping a rookie in there. You're dropping a veteran in there. Well, listen, 2 hours is come and gone. I want to thank my guest, Casey Boguslaw, coming on talking White Sox baseball with me. I want to thank you guys. You guys kept this lit. The chat was lit. Great stuff, folks. I appreciate the love and the support. Make sure you follow Sports Zone Chicago, because today at 12:15, Second City Sports with Lakina McGee and Sidney Brown will entertain you for 2 hours. Okay, then at 3 o'clock on my personal page and probably the YouTube page as well. The SuperBack and Nomad with our daily Bears talk. Make sure you catch us then. And tomorrow, 11 a.m. to 1, okay, the Smoke Fellas. This show, my show, will be replayed at 6 p.m. So if you missed any part of it, you can make sure you can catch it at 6 p.m. So for everyone here from Sports Zone Chicago, guys, I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. So for Clarence, for Elliot Baez, our executive producer, Clarence Council III, our social media guy, my co-host, and Ascension Maya, I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Guys, have a phenomenal weekend. All right, have a phenomenal weekend. It's 40s or 50s today. It's supposed to warm up. Oh, snap. 58, a high of 58 today. It's only 47 right now. But a high of almost 60 today. Enjoy the beautiful weather here in Chicago. Guys, for those of you who are Catholic, happy Easter. This Sunday, remember, today is Good Friday. So if you're practicing Catholic, no meat today. All right. And if you get a chance to spend time with your loved ones on Sunday, do it. Do it. You know, time and tide wait for no man. And you saw what happened with the Baltimore bridge collapse. They're looking for people. All right, they're looking for people, and those folks probably didn't get a chance to say goodbye. Probably had some people on their list that they said, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna give them a call." So make your loved ones feel loved. All right, folks, I am out of here. I will see you on. Well, I'll see you at 3. So I'll see you at 3. All right. I'm going to see you then next week. Now don't worry about next week. I'll see you about 3. All right. For everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Have a wonderful weekend. Happy Easter to all my peoples, my sports owners, and my no maniacs who've checked in on this side. I love you and I appreciate you. Your boy, the SuperBack. I am out.